Okay, so you have been harassing me in my comments for the past 3 days now, and you claim to have a wife and kids, but like, if you're always on here responding to people in the comments, are you sure that you have a job? Are you sure that you have a wife and kids to feed? Because me personally, if my husband was using Twitter fingers on the fucking internet, like, I'd be like, damn, get your ass out the bed and get to work. Go feed our kids. Do something around the house. Fix the damn roof. Talk to me. Not those girls online. So it's like you are literally here fighting in your comments for a response from random women. Like you're talking to people in the comments more than you're talking to your wife and kids. That shit is pathetic. And then you're saying like I put zero effort from the beginning and the man's supposed to bend over backwards. Like no, nobody said that. I think you're so lost to the point where you're just typing random ass shit that does not make sense. Because I explained multiple times in the comments that this little like screenshot that I took was over a 10-minute time period. That is the first conversation I ever had with that man. So what effort is there for me to put in? If a man DMs me asking me like, "Oh, hey, what you doing? Like, you want to hang out? You want to go on a date? Like, I want to take you on a date." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Where is the effort that I'm supposed to put in? What am I supposed to say? Like what effort do you want me to show if somebody is DMing me asking me on a date? What effort do I put in because I didn't want that man. I didn't ask him out. He's the one who asked me on a date. So what effort am I supposed to be putting in? And where did I say a man's supposed to bend over backwards? No. I literally just said a man has to plan a date. That's like the bare minimum. And in the screenshot, all I said was like, "Oh, so can you plan a date? Like, what would you plan for a date for us to do?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, something fun." And I was like, because what kind of boring ass response is that? Okay, because first of all, his energy through text was boring as hell, and I'm not a boring texter. So in general, it was boring from the jump, you know? And then he said something fun. Obviously, you're gonna plan something fun for a date. That is common sense. But the fact is that he did not put any effort into that answer. If somebody's asking you a question like, "Oh, what would you plan for us to do?" and you can't even Google some quick like date stuff, date ideas or whatever, and then copy and paste the shit, there is no effort. Because even Googling date ideas is like 5% effort right there. You know, he could have typed literally anything in the world. I would have been like, "Oh, okay," you know? But the fact that he was just like, "Oh, something fun," that just shows no effort to me, right? And if you cannot put effort into that simple random ass question that I asked, how are you gonna put effort into planning every single other date that we go on for the next 50 years? Okay, because me personally, I want a man who has like initiative. He's good at planning because me personally, I always plan everything. So I want a man who knows how to plan, right? So I'm like, just by that answer, I could tell he wasn't the man for me. So what effort was I supposed to put in? You know? And then even like when it comes to like the 50-50 situation or whatever, he was saying like he wanted to pay for the food and then I pay for the movies. But me personally, that's not what I'm looking for. If I don't want to do 50-50 and all this stuff, I shouldn't have to, cuz there are plenty of men out there who are willing to pay for the first date or just pay for women in general. You know, I want a man who is like my father. Okay, I'm not saying it that in like some creepy sus ass way. I'm saying that as in like I want a man who goes above and beyond for the woman that he wants. Okay, because end of the day, a man is gonna do what he wants to do. So no, I never said like he's supposed to bend over backwards, spend $500 on the first date. No, I didn't even mention money. Okay, but it's the fact that he is the one who wanted to take me out, wanted to do all this, invited me out, blah blah blah. So why should I have to pay? You know, some women are comfortable with paying 50-50 on the first date. Sure, they can do that, but I don't want to do that. You know, so like I said, I got plenty of options out there. So no, he just wasn't the right guy for me. If you like doing 50-50 with your wife, your girlfriend, if she's okay with it, that's cool for y'all. But that's not what I want. Okay, because I've dealt with plenty of broke guys in my life where I was putting in like 1,000,000% effort and they were giving me zero back. They weren't like spoiling me like I was spoiling them. And I'm tired of those like childish ass relationships. Like, I'm a grown ass woman now. I'm looking for a man who wants to settle down and provide and lead the household and do all this shit, right? Like, y'all are mad that women want the provider, but you guys created the system. Okay, women were not allowed to work until like a couple years ago at this point, you know? But no, it's just sad. It's like now we gotta like take care of the kids and cook and clean, and we gotta have a job with that shit. And y'all are just complaining about having a job and paying for stuff. And then I be seeing those like family interviews where they interview the dad and they're like, oh, can you name your son's first grade teacher? Like, do you know what grade your son is in? Do you know like what your daughter's best friend name is? And then the dad can't even answer any of those personal questions about his own kids. Like, I don't want a man like that. I want a man who knows how to work and provide for his family, as well as like provide me emotional support, help out with the kids. He knows how to cook and clean. Like, I want an all around man. Okay, I'm not looking for like, oh, just like hand me money to pay the bills. Like, I don't even want that. Like, okay, I'm not just gonna marry a man just because he's rich. Because end of the day, if you lack education and common sense and all those like other skills, you're just useless to me. Okay, so that is why I hate when men jump to the assumption that it's like, oh, she wants the guy to pay for the first date. That means she's a gold digger. She's just looking for a free meal. Whole time, I make my own money, okay? And I spoil my men back. But I'm not about to spoil a random ass man that I just met because that just makes no sense. You know? If we're here, like, it goes both ways. If we're here spending like hundreds of dollars on each other, buying each other presents, and I met you yesterday, and next thing you know, we break up next week, all that money just went to waste on both sides. So what I'm saying is I don't put in effort until I see that effort is coming to me. Okay, so if we're like going on a date, he pays for the first date, he might pay for the second date, third date, then I'm like, okay, maybe I don't mind going 50-50 because I see how much effort he's putting into me. Let me like reciprocate that shit back. Okay, and next thing you know, we start dating. That's when I start spending all my money. Okay, my man will get anything he wants because I know he's gonna get me everything I want. That should just be common sense, you know. And I see, like you say, you're attempting to explore a connection, sure, but end of the day, this man is a stranger. He could sexually harass me. He could be a creep. He could be a drug dealer. I don't know his personal situation. I don't know his friends, his family. He is a whole ass stranger. And you're a man, so you don't understand what it is like being afraid of men. Okay? And the thing is, I've done it that way that you're talking about, how I put in energy and effort in the beginning. Next thing I know, the man is a crazy stalker, and he thinks that I'm in love with him on the first day just because I paid for the first date. And then next thing I know, he's chasing after me, fucking stalking me, harassing me. Because so it's like I can show too much attention and I could get the wrong energy back, or I can show zero effort and I could get the wrong energy back. So either way, the way that men act, I'm not about to put 100% of my effort into a first date, into a man who I only talk to for 10 minutes. End of the day, that shit is a stranger, okay? Because on the first date, you're worried about, oh, is she gonna ask me to pay the bill? I wonder if she likes me. That's what you're worried about on the first date. What I'm worried about is if this man is gonna come stalking me to my house, or if he's gonna harass me or off me. Like, I don't know what this man is gonna do. I'm scared for my life when I go on first dates. Okay, I'm not even thinking about money and shit. That's a you problem. So end of the day, like, no, I'm not giving a random ass stranger 100% of my time. I'm not even giving you 50% because I know if I like you in the first 10 minutes of the conversation. And I did not like him. So end of the day, I just blocked him. Okay, he was not the one for me. Sorry.